Okay, so I wanted to get this video about Monday, but I think I won't get it out until early Wednesday, maybe late Tuesday. Um, just work and other things are in the way. But yeah, so let's get into it. The song's already out. It's on SoundCloud. I'll link it in the description. But yeah, let's get started. So with this track, I started with this drone here. And this drone is from the Drone Ranger effects pedal, which I'm not sure who does that pedal, but I got it on Reverb and I was like, oh, this is cool. It'd be cool to put in a song like a drone. And I was just messing around with it, and this is what came out. So what I didn't do this until later, but I put a Fruity Flangus on it just to give it a little bit of smoothness, just to smooth it out a bit, just to give it a little bit of a futuristic effect. And I think the next thing I did was we put on drums. This is Keep Calm. I forget what pack this is from. I have so many drum packs. But it's Keep Calm from, most likely from Stop the Drums. Stop the Drum Abuse, Volume 2. And this is what it sounds like. So with that as like a backbone for the track, I just started layering. And I wrote the chorus for this track first. So I have a Moog Matriarch, and it's over here, you can't see it, but I have a Moog Matriarch. And what I did was I just use the regular saw patch and put a lead over it. So it's very very simple. Um, uh, and then I played some guitars, um, just to give it that driving feeling, because this is about the death drive. I wanted to feel like it's declining on a decline. So I put this guitar melody over top of it, and then I octave it. I octaved the synths, and then I octaved the guitars. And for the guitars, I'm putting on Archetype by Tim Henson version, and then I've got some EQ. I sweep out the lows, and I drop about around the 2K region, just to give. And this, if you have any suggestions, if I should do this, put it in the comments. But I just put a drop in the 2K region just to give the vocals a little bit more room. And we'll hear the vocals later. But yeah. And then I've got another octave guitar, but it's just a power chord. Sorry, there's a little bit of drag because I'm running OBS and FL Studio at the same time. And that's just the A part, the chorus. The next is the intro. I think I really wrote the intro. And the intro is, well, let's go over the verses first. So the verse for the beat is I have a Juno 106 plugin, warmer pad, and that's creating the main melody here. And that was very simple. I didn't start with that, but that's probably my favorite part of the thing. I have two. I also started kind of like messing with the 808s. I have two 808s here. One that kind of creates the top rhythm and one creates the bottom rhythm. They have two different tones. They're the same key, but they have two different tones, which made them sound interesting. And then I didn't use the envelope, so they kind of overlap each other, creating this kind of double back effect. Like if we play it. They create that double back effect, so it kind of changes the tone as each plays. I then added some, just again from Stop Drum Abuse, either volume 2 or volume 3. I added the snares and the hi-hats. And I think I layered this with another snare. I'm not sure where it comes from. Yeah, I'm not sure. But it's got a little bit of reverb on it, I think. No, I guess not. But it's a snare that has a natural reverb to it, and I wanted to give it that airy feel on top. I think that's the beat mostly. Next is the vocals. So yeah, I might put a title screen here. Okay, so first caveat, I'm going to explain the vocals in another video, or the lyrics in another video. And we'll do a full breakdown of the lyrics. That'll probably come out Friday. But yeah. And here I'm just going to do a sonic breakdown. So first I started singing the chorus. And the chorus is very repetitive. Sorry, but it fits the theme of the song. So let's play the beat with it.
This is my death drive. Yeah, this is my death drive. Yeah, this is my death drive. Yeah, this is my death drive. This is my death drive. Yeah, this is my death drive. Yeah, this is my death drive. Yeah, this is my death drive.
So I started with the vocals here. I just started singing them. What I have on it, so what I do, and the chorus isn't parsed here, but it should be, or isn't in its own channel, but it should be. But what I do is I sing a vocal into one vocal chain. I route that to a vocal bus, and then instead of going directly and using the effects directly on where I record the vocal, I record it on a separate. I use the effects on a specific vocal channel, on a channel. Then, so here I've got a little bit of auto-tune. Even though I'm rapping, I'm not really singing. I put a little bit of auto-tune, not a lot. Okay, it's taking a little bit of time to load. Okay. I put a little bit of auto-tune, not a lot. I put the retune speed up to 36, so it's barely affecting it.
This is my death drive. Yeah, this is my death drive. Yeah, this.
And I did that auto tune just to make sure that it's a little bit in key with the rest of the track. Not so that I'm affecting my voice, but just enough so it's in key with the rest of the track. If anyone has any suggestions for a vocal chain, put that in the comments too. I EQ'd. Now this is kind of a controversial EQ. I see this on the internet a lot. I sweep out the lows because there's just nothing. My voice is a little higher. It's low, but I'm just enough so I don't hear a thinness. Now, I did take out resonant frequencies. You don't have to do this, but I do this just to get it clean. I'm using an SM57, the mic that I'm talking into right now. And sometimes it gets a little boxy, and I just want to make sure that it's clean as possible. I don't pull these down all the way. I pull these down just enough so it's not as boxy. I push the high around 5K, the brilliance a little bit up. I leave this one alone. It's maybe up a little bit, but it's around 2K alone. And that's the EQ chain. I usually do this for most vocals except the resonant frequencies. Sometimes I do it, sometimes I don't. It really depends on the track. Any suggestions would be nice about how I should go about this. Would be cool. Put those in the comments. I use I use a compressor. I use our compressor. Now here I push down about, this ratio is pretty high. I usually go up to just 3, but I push it down enough. Let's see. I push it down enough so that it's I push down the threshold and I get the ratio up to 3. I push it down the threshold enough to get it around 9 to 6 dB, negative 9 to 6 dB. And that's all I really do. I push up the gain a little bit to get it around there, just to hover around negative 9 to 6 dB. I have a de-esser for any sibilance. I use this bar type. And then my frequency can range between 7,500 to 7,700. And then I push down the threshold to get that big dip to squash any sibilance. For me, the sibilance usually happens around this thing. When I push it around 7,500 to 7,700, the sibilance goes down a lot. Now, if there's any other suggestions, again, put it in the comments. Again, I use a second compressor. This is to make it a little bit louder, or to give it a little bit more, to get it a little bit higher. So it's about,
This is my death drive.
so it's about negative 6 dB here. I crush it a little bit, just a little bit, and then push it up to negative 6 dB. Now for here, the decapitator, this is for vocal effect. Now you could use it for saturation, but like saturating the vocals a little bit and giving it a little bit more harmonics. But I'm crushing the vocals here because I wanted to give it that gritty sound, because it's like kind of a rock song a little bit in the chorus. So you get that, oh, this is my death drive, but it's like filtered.
Yeah, this is my death drive.
It just makes it sound harder. But it's not a lot. So I have the output around, I don't know how to say this, but more than half, a little bit less than maximum. 3 dots from the maximum. The wet is down. The tone is almost in the middle. The tone is in the middle. A little bit of a low cut. A little bit of a high cut. So I think it's a little thin, but that just adds to the grit a little bit. This, but just so you know, this decapitator cuts off when I get to the verse. So it just gives the grit for the chorus, and then it cuts off right at the verse. And so we've covered the chorus. Let's go into the verse. The verse has the same vocal effects, but let me. So the same vocal effects. One thing I like to mention, I just added it here, is that I have onto the vocal bus, I have it rooted, like sidechain rooted, like what is it called? Root to this track, where it roots it, but it also is rooted to the master. I have a reverb, and that reverb is set to maximum. The wet knob is set to maximum, and the decay is minimal. The dry is all the way down. But I use this, and I kind of lower this a bit so that there's a little bit of reverb, but not a lot. I was messing around with this before, and I think I want a little bit more reverb on this track, but we'll see. I like it the way it is. It's a little in your face. But giving a little bit of distance would be, I don't know. I don't know how it's a preference thing. Again, if you feel that this vocal chain is not great, set any suggestions in the comments. I've looked around line for vocal chains, and this is the best one that works for me. Double compression, de-esser, a little bit of EQ, decapitator. Auto-tune is something I added because I've seen my engineer do this. I'm producing this and engineering myself, but I've been to a studio and they put a little bit of auto-tune on the track just to get it in tune with the rest of the track. Okay, so the verse is the same. I don't really want to go into the verse right now because I want to explain the lyrics later. But the lyrics have the same. The lyrics have the same effects. The verse has the same effects. Yeah. So that's really the track. I'm gonna run through. That's really the track. And then I'll run through it later. You can listen to it on SoundCloud. It will be on all DSPs at the end of the 6 weeks. And yeah, thank you. If you have any questions, leave it in the comments. Like and subscribe, all those good things. It helps me out. And yeah,